characters King knows that who Green Arrow is, how drastic of a change is it going to be?
With William, it's really interesting, man. My first day on season 6 was 4 consecutive scenes with Jack, who plays William. And I was incredibly nervous. Way more nervous than he was, because he was an unknown quantity in my mind. Like, he and I had never really acted together. We'd had a scene where I was holding him close and he was looking scared. We'd had a scene where he was playing with action figures, but he's 12 in the story and 14 in real life. And I was like, I hope he's good, because we're putting a lot of eggs in his basket for the beginning of season 6, and he was equal to the task. He was fantastic.
Season 5 is very much about getting things back to street level for the show. How would you describe kind of the ethos of season 6?
You know, when I was sitting here last year at this time, I knew exactly how season 5 was going to go and how it was going to end. I know how season 6 is going to end, but I do not know how we get there. It's a bit of a different year in terms of how we're building things, how we're introducing people, what the threat is, and I'm excited for it.
Can you talk about what James Bamford brings to directing the premiere?
Well, this is our first year of James being a producing director, and just in general, in my mind, he just brings a through line. You know, he's been, it's like a list of people that I met in February of 2012. David Nutter, Michael Davidovich, my driver and buddy, and James Bamford. He's been there since the beginning. He wasn't even the stunt coordinator when we started. He was the fight choreographer. So having him there, there's just an energy, because it's almost like season 4 challenged us. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we had a little bit of a down year in terms of our creative drive, so to speak. Everyone obviously gave their all, and you're always going to have years like that. It's doing a television show for seasons. It's like a relationship. You know, you can have a little bit of time where, you know, but then you figure out how you really feel. And he has really helped me rediscover how I feel about the show. I'm so passionate about it. I want to do so well at it. He really helps from that standpoint.
If you look back on seasons 1 to 5, you building your character over the years, what season are you most proud of?
5.
5? Okay. Why is that?
Really am. Well, I mean, if you want to see Oliver more broken down than he was around 5:16, 5:17, then you're into some weird shit, because that. I mean, what Chase did to him on a psychological level. I was saying at the previous table, I don't think that we can match the emotional gravity of season 5. I think there's season 1, there's season 5, and there's whatever the last year of the show is. That doesn't mean that season 6 can't be better, but I'm most proud of season 5. Very proud of season 5.
Where do you think Oliver's headspace is now, with the events and everything that happened in season 5 going in? Where is his headspace in season 6?
He misses all his friends. Actually, his headspace is actually pretty good. It's fun coming back every year and talking with the writers, Wendy Miracle in particular as an executive producer, talking about all the little subtle changes. Like, whereas in seasons past, Oliver would have given an order, now it's more a look and an acknowledgement, which I think is important. It's the little things, the nooks and crannies.
How much do you know, if anything, at this point about this year's big crossover with the other shows?
I know everything.
How much can you tell us about it?
Nothing.
Well, how do you follow up Prometheus, which is a really great villain? I mean, how do you follow that up in season 6? I mean, what can you tease villainy-wise?
You don't follow it up with one villain. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Are you a fan of 24? Yep.
Yeah.
Not an actor from that show. Although Paul Blackthorne being the villain would just be tremendous on a number of levels. It's more about the way that they introduced them on 24.
We asked the fans to send us questions, and
Sure.
90% of them tell us to ask you about holistic.
Yeah.
What can we expect from them?
Their relationship is in a decent place, assuming she survives.
Assuming that.
No, they're good. They're good. They have a again, taking for granted some things. They're in a good spot.
How do you obviously can't tell us anything about the crossover, but how is it doing those episodes now that you've done a very, very big one and a couple of the smaller ones with Flash and stuff? Like,
I mean, it's,
how
you
is
know,
it sort of going into their tone, changing the tone and going into their world and stuff?
well, I don't change my tone.
Yes.
I feel like that's one of the issues that we ran into in the show. For me, from a creative perspective, is like, let's bend to this world. Let's not. It's called the Arrowverse. Like, let's just do what we do, right? But I mean, going to other shows, it's great. You know, there are people that work on Flash and Supergirl and Legends that have jobs that they were hired for from Arrow, and their promotions. And it's like, it's really cool to go and work with those people. And every set has a different vibe, right? Like, people are like laughing and joking on the Flash set. You know, the Supergirl set's kind of like, it was a lot of like them trying to find themselves last year because it was their first year. And our set's just like a fucking metronome. You know, just like, here we go, do it. So it's really cool to go and work with new people.
That's your little girl already watching the show, some glimpse of the show, maybe.
What's that?
Does your little girl already watch a little bit of the show?
Well, she's definitely calling me Prince Green Arrow right now, but I don't think she's ever seen a full episode of the show. I'm excited to sit down and watch the pilot with her. I'll give it like maybe a year, 2 more years. But it's fun that we have this big library for her to go through.
Is it right we're going to see a little more Slave coming season as well?
I caught a rash of shit for speaking in generalities about season 6. Manu Bennett is involved in the show.
And can you tease the season 1 character that may be coming back?
No. I'll leave that to you, Craig.
Okay.
It is nice to have them back, though. Not her, not him, them. Yeah. Cool. You're so welcome, guys.